1517 to Paris is directed by Clint Eastwood and stars 3 soldiers who prevented a terrorist attack in 2015 as themselves. Spencer Stone, Anthony Sadler, and Alek Skarlatos are the names of the 3 soldiers, and the number in the title 1517 refers to the time that the main character's train left Amsterdam. Now, this movie is supposed to tell us the true story of 3 heroic soldiers who helped stop a terrorist attack aboard a train. But instead, we are forced to see a long, drawn-out film that shows how these 3 guys met as kids, and it has horrible pacing, editing that doesn't make any sense, and I became so bored with how lazy this film was after 30 minutes into the movie. Now, before I finish this review, I want to quickly mention that YouTube is cutting off the money I make from it on February 20th if I don't get to 1,000 subscribers. I currently have 640 subscribers, and so if you enjoy these reviews, it would mean a lot to me if you were to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. You are awesome for subscribing. All right, let's continue talking about 1517 to Paris. I don't know how this story could have worked as a full-length movie. Not because what these characters did wasn't admirable. It was. I'm glad that the terrorist aboard the train didn't kill a bunch of people. But it doesn't work as a movie because the story is very short and simple. There's no way to tell that story in an exciting way over the course of an hour and a half. So what Clint Eastwood does is decide to show us how these characters met and grew up as friends. We see all 3 of them as kids, which I thought that the kids did an okay job, but by the time the film shows them as grown adults, there's nothing special that's happened to make me feel invested in these characters. For whatever reason, also, the film cuts to the train at the most random times. While they're in the past, it cuts to the present day train sequence, and in retrospect, it makes no sense as to why they did that, other than to remind us that this is all about the train and to make the runtime longer in the film. I think this movie would have been better as a TV 30-minute documentary or maybe a 1-hour special at the most. There's just not a lot of content to make this into an hour-and-a-half motion picture where people are entertained the entire time. The final scene at the end where the altercation happens with the terrorist was laughable, and for whatever reason, there's no action background music to intensify this fight. There's actually several scenes where background music could have helped those scenes tremendously. So the only redeeming quality I can find in this movie is that they didn't have us on the train the entire hour and a half. I don't know how they could have done that, but it would have been more of an extremely boring experience, and that they at least tried. I'm going to give them credit for trying to develop these characters through the backstory. I can give them some points for effort on that. But ultimately, this was a slow drag that maybe could work as an hour, 30-minute TV special where just a lot of the scenes that are incredibly boring are erased from the film, and the sole focus is just on what happened to these characters and who they saved on the train. I'm going to give 1517 to Paris a D+. What's your favorite movie involving a train? Comment below. And as always, if you enjoyed this review, like, share this video, and subscribe to EskimoTV, where you can always expect icy and chilly EskimoTV reviews.